Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to round 13 of the 2021-22 TIO NTFL Women's Premier League competition. And tonight we're coming from downtown Nightcliff, where they take on Southern Districts. My name's Liz Cruz, and joining me in the commentary balcony today, Will Zwar. How are you, Will?
Good, thanks, Liz. How are you?
Yeah, good. Had a good Christmas break and New Year?
Yeah, good Christmas break. Stayed in town. Didn't want to miss the footy season, so thought it's not worth the risk going home. And here I am for the first week back.
Well, it's great to have you back, and great. This will be a really good match-up tonight. Southern Districts in some good form in that last round before Christmas, knocking off St Mary's, and Nightcliff, of course, sitting very high up on the ladder. So got a good game on our hands. Naturally, the first round after Christmas, there are a few players missing for both teams, which we'll talk about during the game. But play gets underway now here at Nightcliff Oval.
And it looks like it's Southern Districts who get the ball first and trying to work it forward. No one's really taken a clean possession at this stage. But Nightcliff now work the ball forward. Eliza Morrison with her hands on it, throws it on the boot. That's the first true possession, or true disposal, I should say. I think it's Kiri Hill-Carter, kicks it forward only as far as her district's counterpart. A big ruckman in Katrina Simmons wrapped up with the ball there. That'll be a free kick the way Southern Districts to Kiara Coops, who goes forward, finds Grace Whitacker on a good lead. Very far away from goal. She now kicks forward. Rainier Hewitt at the bottom of that pack. Districts have the ball in their forward line. Can't take possession. Here they go now. Ball is hacked forward. Again, it was Coops. Taylor Thorne at full forward. Couldn't use her body to work it. And Nightcliff will mop up. Morrison will be first to it at this contest. Gets it to Simmons. The ruckman gets it out of the defensive 50. Only as far as the Districts player. Throws it on the boot. Wasn't a clean kick. And enters their forward 50. High tackle. So it'll be Grace Whitacker.
Yeah, good front position there by Grace Whitacker. She didn't take the mark, but she drew the free kick, and she's got it into Taylor Thorne, who's going to trap that, hopefully, for the Crocs, but goes to ground, and it's been called a throw by the umpire. So free kick to Nightcliff.
I don't mind that from Whitacker, sort of calling for Thorne to offer her something to give her a lead. They didn't quite work the kick out, but good communication is a good sign between the midfielders and the forwards. Morrison now for Nightcliff kicks forward, finds a woman on the wing in Emily Casey. She goes forward now. It's a long lead. I can't quite see who it is there. I think it might be Onion Smith. A long way away from home. She goes, I think it's inside Nightcliff's forward 50. Not clean with it though, and Districts will look to mop up on that far wing. Ball in dispute. An umpire is called for a free kick in favour of Southern Districts. So
Southern Districts down the end in front of their box there, looks like Kiara Coops, who will take the free kick for them, wearing the number 17 today.
She goes forward. It's a risky kick, but it paid off.
Bella Clark there with the kick, the captain of Southern Districts today. The ball goes to ground though, and it's a bit of a fumble there to see who can get the ball out.
And it's a pretty scrappy start so far. As somewhat expected in this first week back after Christmas, Liz. A lot of players haven't been to training, and reserves players who've only played a handful of games before in their life are caught up to play in the Premier League.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been COVID restrictions up here in Darwin over the last week, and obviously there's still people away. Sophie Hatzimalis and Michaela Ward, probably the two obvious ones for Nightcliff, and Kyanne Campbell and a few others for Southern Districts. But nevertheless, two teams out there, so they're both here to play as the umpire balls it up again down there at the far end of the ground from the Nightcliff balcony where we're sitting.
Clark took possession there but couldn't get a disposal away. Districts still managed to work it forward. Hewitt again looked to be the target but didn't get up in the air. Ball now comes forward to Thorne. Bounced off her chest, but she picks up crumbs, gets away from her opponent, runs free, throws on the outside of the boot and just squeezes at the wrong side of the post. It's the first score of the day. It's a behind. And Southern Districts lead 1 behind, 2 no scores in the early stages here at Darwin, Mazda, Nightcliff Oval.
Yeah, well, Taylor Thorne, one of the players we were talking about before the game, will to be damaging player for the Crocs today, as we see that ball go out untouched, I think. But no, the umpire's called a throw in. And Taylor's obviously had AFLW experience. She was first drafted to the Adelaide Crows and then spent time with the Gold Coast Suns. So she can be a damaging player. She is playing a true full forward position, and she'll just want that delivery down the ground from, you know, the likes of Bella Clark and Kiara Coops, the girls that can get it into her, as we see Nightcliff clear that again from the defence, but mopped up really quickly by Southern Districts there.
Ball comes forward to Sophie Berry. Couldn't quite get a kick away. And Nightcliff again to mop up through where she gets it out to Labessa. She looks to get around her opponent. She's tackled. Umpire will ping her for holding the ball. Probably need to get rid of it there. She's tried to take on her opponent and has been pinged for it. And Nightcliff were away there, but it's good defensive work from Districts as they move forward now, trying to take clean possession. Hacked off the ground by the Nightcliff defender. Districts now again working it forward. Probably had a bit of the rub of the green so far. Ball's mainly been in their forward 50.
Yeah, as you said, Will, a bit scrappy so far, but I'm sure both teams will work their way into it. It's been a really hot day today, and I think the women's have got the best part of the day to play footy in, because the men who played before this copped the heat of the day, and there's no rain around. So good conditions here at Nightcliff Oval, as we see a free kick there being paid to Southern Districts.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a very hot day here, and yeah, the women have definitely got the prime time slot here out of the sun. I think I've commentated the game before. It started at 4:30, and that was a very hot game. And the poor Div 2, which had some of the Taylor Thorns just kicked the first goal of the game for Southern Districts and puts them 7 points up.
Yeah, beautifully set up there. I think it was Rihanna Hewitt in the number 5. Guernsey just broke away from her player and chucked it on the boot, and Taylor Thorne was behind her player, but the mark was missed, and that enabled her to get the loose ball and just run into the goal square for a goal. So Southern Districts, as you said, Will, on the scoreboard with the first goal, and they've kicked a point. So 1-1-7 leading Tigers yet to score.
And these... We've got Nightcliff on top of the ladder at the moment. District's now sitting in 5th. Do you think it's a sort of true representation of how the team's performed and what their form's like today? Or?
No, and I think we've missed a couple of key games due to COVID cancellations, you know, and a couple of lightning games that were called off by lightning during the game. So, but Stu Davis and I called the game St Mary's and Southern Districts before Christmas, and St Mary's kicked 4 goals to none in the first quarter, and then were pretty much held goalless by Southern Districts, who absolutely romped home. So, you know, when they're at full strength, they're a force to be reckoned with.
Politis there for Nightcliff tried to work the ball forward, but only as far as her Districts counterpart. Ball now goes forward to Berry. She couldn't take the mark either. Now comes to Whitaker. Has been very lively early. Goes to Thorne, the top of the square, but just had too much on it.
And beautiful hands there by the Nightcliff player.
It's one of the Hunter girls,
yeah,
Matisse Hunter. And it's a 2-on-1. Can Nightcliff work it out? They do through Labessa. She now gets away. Got a bit of speed on her by the looks of it so far.
Yeah, Emma very fit. She runs the F45 studio near the airport there, so she can run all day, just like Eliza Morrison, who has had a number of touches so far, and pretty sure she played a game for the Western Bulldogs in the VFL just before Christmas too. So
plenty of good football experience there. Ball now in the middle of the ground with District's Casey Marsden. She goes out wide. Couldn't be marked by Kowalowitz, but she gets a free kick for hands or for a push in the back. And she goes back, assesses her options. Got a little bit forward through Berry, finds her. That was a good kick and a good mark. She's not confident, so looking for another option to go to. The full forward in Thorne, the likely one there, couldn't mark it, but rolls around on her right, kicks towards goal. It's a behind. So
1 goal, 2 to Southern Districts, and it's Taylor Thorne who's had every shot so far, Will. So that says something about how damaging she can be.
Yep, and I dare say she's going to be a problem for Nightcliff for most of the game.
She's just got such strong strength in the hip. She rarely goes to ground. So once she loses her player, she's very damaging.
Megan Kelly kicking out from fullback there for Nightcliff. Ball again in dispute in districts. Gee, that was good. They worked it forward to Whitacker, who's been very busy early.
Yeah, very impressive. Wearing the number 1 Guernsey there, and the umpire's going to pay a 50-metre penalty. I think the Nightcliff player just didn't realise and ran through the mark there, so that'll bring her right up in front of goal there. Should be an easy goal for Southern Districts, and doesn't that hurt, Will?
Yeah, it's not what you want, particularly in the early stages of the game. You've just given up 1 goal to Taylor Thorne from the goal square and a second one from a free kick to Whitacker from the goal square.
So the score now should be 2 goals to Southern Districts, leading Nightcliff yet to score. And speaking of Nightcliff, their coach Shannon Miller became the first female to obtain the level 3 coaching accreditation in the Northern Territory, which is a fantastic accomplishment by Shannon.
Yeah, she's a brilliant coach. She's definitely turned the Nightcliff team around since arriving here. I think it was 2 years ago now. They were bottom of the ladder, hadn't won in a couple of years, and look at them now. They're top of the ladder. They're 9-1 so far this year.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of coaching netball, A-grade netball with Shannon for a number of years, and she's a very knowledgeable sportswoman across the netball and the football scene. She represented the Northern Territory in netball and won, I think, 5 premierships at Waratahs before she crossed and became a coach at Nightcliff. She's coached at NT Thunder, so supported really well by Eliza Morrison. And I know the men's and the women's teams at Nightcliff, combine and cross over, and it's just done wonders for their women's program, as we see a free kick in the centre square to Nightcliff.
Henry kicked it forward there for Nightcliff. Goes out to the wing now, and Districts will be first to it, work it forward. Berry, who's also been lively early, the target, couldn't take the mark. Comes down now, might be Richter with the ball, goes inboard. There's a Districts player running. Taylor Thorne again, the target at full forward. Wasn't in a good position, but worked it to ground. Tries to work it to her favour. Gets a handball away to Brock. Comes back to her. Can she get it off the ground? It's a 3-on-2 in the goal square. Plenty of pressure. Berry kicked it, couldn't find the goals, but it stays alive. Gee, that was a very hot contest there, and Nightcliff have managed to work it in their favour, but it's not over yet. Districts work it forward. Gee, that was very clever from Brock. Taps it over the top. Wasn't in favour of Thorne, unfortunately.
Yeah, and a strong tackle there. The umpires ruled it as a sling tackle. The Nightcliff player hit her head on the ground, and strong player Taylor Thorne, as we said, has had AFLW experience, and Hunter will get that free kick. But, Nightcliff are working really hard in defence. They got a pretty high-quality player in Taylor Thorne to work on.
Hunter kicks it out wide to her twin, who runs onto it very close to the boundary line, but kept it alive, worked it down the line. Punch forward there by the Nightcliff player. By the Districts player. And the umpire calls free kick in favour of Nightcliff. So it's Kiri Hill-Carter, very far away from home. Wants to go forward to Onion Smith.
Another free kick's been paid by the umpire to Nightcliff, just some hands in the back as Onion Smith went up for that goal. She's a huge kick. She's got a soccer background. Very, very strong in the legs, this player. So we'll see how far this kick goes. She's a long way from home, but as I said, get it in there forward 50 pretty much the first time all game. That's a beautiful delivery, but a great defensive mark there. Looks like Bella Clark from here.
And she goes straight down the middle, finds Berry, who gives a quick hands. That was very slick. Kicks it forward, and Thorne has got an absolute paddock to work with. Ball overran her.
What a pick up there by Crocs.
And she works it forward, kicks towards goal. It's not pretty, but it might work out. Brock couldn't take possession, and it's worked over the goal line. Very good work there from Megan Kelly at full-back.
Yeah, she's working hard. Croc's game plan seems to be pretty simple so far, though, Will. They're going straight down the middle, whereas Nightcliff seem to be going around the outside a bit. So if Nightcliff can put some pressure on them and, push them out wide, it's going to take the ball a lot longer to get down there.
We've seen 2 goals to Crocs so far.
Oh.
Possibly 3. No, not quite. Ball's still alive. Hunter picks it up on the goal line. Kelly, good work to give her assistance.
Great running there to take that mark by Monet, her twin sister.
Hunter to Hunter again.
Good combination.
Wasn't the best kick, but she's managed to find McWilliam. She kicks the advantage of Anion Smith, gets a good shepherd from Simmons. And Nightcliff again working it forward. Great work there. But the radar's off and it's a behind. So Nightcliff get their first points on the board.
Yeah, as I said, they're just going wide again, Nightcliff, so have to work a little bit harder trying to kick those balls on the angles and that sort of thing. But they are on the scoreboard with that behind. So the score now is Southern Districts 2-3-15, leading Nightcliff Tigers just the one behind.
And Hunter intercepts the kick in. She takes a mark. She's just over the 50-metre line now, so probably too far out to score. That's a beautiful kick to the hot spot, but again, it's a good mark.
Yeah, Southern Districts just cutting that one off again. So I think it's, not sure who it is down there. We're a long, long way from that goal end, but Southern Districts are going to now bring it around the side and try and, but it's Nightcliff that have picked up the ball again, kicking it into their forward line, and a great mark there by Lauren Gooden. She plays on and has kicked a goal. I heard a whistle, but the umpire has signalled all clear. So a goal on the board for Nightcliff Tigers by Lauren Gooden, who's a fantastic player. She represented the NT in the that game against Glenelg last season, and very, very good player for Nightcliff after crossing from St Mary's.
Good work from Andy Mollier there. She's had the goal assist. Just sort of got to the contest hardest and took possession and got it to the advantage of Gooden, who's kicked that goal through. So great work from Nightcliff to respond to Southern Districts. It
was, and just to continue our conversation from earlier, Will, I think the race for the premiership this season in the women's competition is wide open, really different to last year where Pints just dominated all season. I think anyone in the top 5 could take it at the moment. So if they've got their strongest team, Nightcliff, Buffs, St Mary's, and Southern Districts, they're all up there.
Play resumes. Nightcliff trying to get their hands on the ball first, but it's Districts who will again mop up. I think it was Bella Clark who's also been busy. Jessie Brock pushing forward.
Great running there by Emily Casey. She'd be one of the fittest players in the team for Nightcliff. That ball's gone out of bounds, but another one that crossed from St Mary's a few seasons ago with Lauren Gooden, and she's been another reason that Nightcliff have really, come to the fore up the top of the women's ladder after being at the bottom for so long.
I don't mind that kick from her either. Obviously, she's given away a free kick, but she's gotten it sort of out of that zone where, if she's turned it over straight away to her opponent, one kick and one mark and they're having a shot on goal. So Districts now resume play, get it to the mid wing, and the umpire calls a free kick. Again, Southern Districts to Jessie Brock. So slowly but surely they're working it forward. She looks forward to Whitaker. Goes over the head of Berry, but she'll run onto it, can't take it cleanly. And it looks like it's Kelly putting pressure on from Nightcliff.
And the quarter time siren has gone. So the score, Crocs 2-3-15, leading Nightcliff Tigers 1-1-7. A bit of a scrappy first quarter, Will, but to be expected the first round and the first quarter after Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a pretty good start so far. Districts obviously ahead on the scoreboard, probably ahead on the field as well. I think the score sort of reflects the play at this stage, but as you said, the first quarter back, always a bit hard. I've got my first quarterback tomorrow, so interesting to see how I go.
I went to the F45 for the first time in 10 days this morning and nearly died. So yeah. I think it's all of us. We'll go to the quarter time break and we'll be back very soon. Welcome back to Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval for the second quarter of this round 13 game between Nightcliff and Southern Districts, and the score, Southern Districts 2-3-15 leading Nightcliff Tigers 1-1-7. It was a bit of a scrappy first quarter, as to be expected, the first round after Christmas, Will, but some good signs from both teams so far.
Yeah, some great work from Districts in particular. I don't think anyone expected them to be ahead at quarter time. But as we said, first game back, there's always a few complications with each team, particularly in these COVID times. But yeah, here we are. They've got an 8-point lead as we start the second quarter. And it's Nightcliff who seem to be getting it first for Eliza Morrison. She gets the ball out. I think again it's to Moliere, who was pretty lively in that first quarter on the far wing. Morrison now gets another kick away, but only gets it as far as her District's opponent. She gets it straight back again, though.
Eliza Morrison with the ball again. Gets that ball into the forward 50, over the back.
Kerry Hill-Carter gets the ball, hands it over the top. There's a player on in Dooley. She kicks it to the full forward in Gooden. Couldn't take it cleanly, though. Try to keep it alive, but it's worked over the line. Good work from the District's
the umpire has scored. They were playing on there, but the umpire had scored it behind. She probably just needed to handball it there and probably not kick it past Gooden. And I've just had a message from Rhiannon Bush down south, another player that's missing tonight. She's moved away from the Northern Territory and she's got FOMO, she said. She wishes she was back in Darwin. So hello to Riri down there watching in on the live stream.
Districts now working the ball out of their back line. Can't take it cleanly. Work it forward through Hewitt, who again was pretty good in that first quarter. Got a little bit of the ball, will work into the game.
Got a beautiful backdrop here at Nightcliff tonight. Beautiful clouds, a bit of a sunset. Always a great Nightcliff jetty sunsets in Darwin, Will.
Yeah, one of the special features of one of the favourite suburbs in Darwin.
It is. It's regularly featuring on my Instagram. Walking on the Nightcliff jetty, either in the morning or at night.
Can't quite see it on the screen, but there was a little flash of thunder in the distance as well, which is
Don't jinx us. I've called too many lightning-affected games so far this season. I don't remember there being so many. I think 13 or 14 years of NTFL I've been involved. So Southern Districts getting that ball into their forward line, but mopped up again. Looks like Eliza Morrison there. She's easy to pick tonight with that white strapping on her shoulder.
Kicks it across the ground, and it's Bella Clark who'll pick it up. Another one of the superstars out there tonight. Kicks inside the forward 50. Can't find her target in Seaton Scott. But Districts keep it. No, they don't. Moliere again mopping up. Districts ready to rebound, though, and they want to keep it in their forward 50 as much as possible by the looks of it. Here's Whitacker. Probably been their best so far today. Has a shot on goal, but it's a behind to the near side.
Yeah, good shot on goal there. So the score now, Southern Districts 2-4-16, leading Nightcliff Tigers 1-8. The goal kickers so far for Southern Districts, Grace Whitaker and Taylor Thorne, and for Nightcliff, Lauren Gooden.
So Hunter brings it back into play. She's been very good at fullback so far. Turns it over.
Yeah, good mark there to Southern Districts.
Ball goes inside the forward 50 there. I think again it's Moliere, the drop of the ball. Districts still keep it inside their forward 50. Comes out and kicked forward by Dooley. Taylor Thorne throws on the boot, but hits the post. So she's kicked 1 goal 3. It's good to hit the scoreboard, but it would be nicer for her and for the Crocs. She was 3-1 instead. Oh,
it would be, wouldn't it? It'd be a different game if she kicked straight, but the Nightcliff defence are working very hard on her and doing a good job.
Yeah, great defensive game from both sides so far. The ball's been in the forward 50 and very close to the goal, to both goal lines on numerous occasions, but neither side can really seem to break away. Nightcliff now hack the ball forward off the ground on that far wing, trying to work out who the players are from this forward pocket. A bit of a challenge for us tonight, Liz.
It is. Eliza Morrison, though, as I said, with wearing the white strapping, has got the ball but turned it over there to Crocs.
The Districts work it forward. Good mark in the forward 50.
Played on.
In fact,
No, the umpires
back.
called it back.
And another 50 to Whitaker. So her second 50-metre penalty inside the forward 50. Second shot from goal from point-blank range.
Yeah, costly.
And wasn't the prettiest kick, but she's kicked it through. That's her second. And Shannon Miller wouldn't be happy with that, would she?
No, not at all. She's a very strict coach and she wouldn't be happy at all. But, you know, well done to Southern Districts. And as long as the ball goes through the two white sticks, it's a goal. Doesn't matter how ugly the kick. The score now, Southern Districts 3-5-23, leading Nightcliff Tigers 1-8. And another big thing coming up on the NTFL scene will be the representative game in a few weeks. Will, you excited about the men's and the women's games?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously went last year for the first instalment of the new tradition that they've got going. This year it's against Woodville West Torrens. Should be a great game. Always good to see the best of the territory on display. Yeah,
I was lucky enough to call the women's game last year and it was just fantastic display. It's always great. It's something since Thunder has gone by the wayside. It's always great for the NTFL players from different clubs to come together and just show what they can do. The top class of players in the men's and the women's competition.
Absolutely. It's Bella Clark gets the ball there, couldn't quite dispose of it, but District's still managing to work it forward. They've been better at that tonight for sure. Nightcliff not making it easy for them. It's Clark again will mop up, kicks it, throws it on her boot. It'll come to Moliere. He's got pace, takes one bounce.
Great run down the wing there.
Bounce.
Two players chasing hard on her tail.
Outside 50, kicks it to a 1-on-2. With great work from Gooden, throws it on her right, kicks towards goal. Oh, that would have been an absolute ripper, but it's just a behind, unfortunately.
Yeah, she's a really exciting player, Lauren Gooden, and, you know, that would have been just reward for both her and that run down the wing. But I wouldn't mind seeing Lauren push up the ground a bit, get a bit more involved. She's a really tough player. She's really deceiving with her height and her strength. So, yeah, it looks like, is that Sarah Butt kicking in for Southern Districts?
She runs her measure, kicks it. I think, again, is it Brock? No, it's Casey Marsden.
The lights are on here at Nightcliff, but it is a bit of a difficult ground to watch. Great mark there by Kiara Coop. She plays on, but when she bounced it, the ball didn't come back up. So there's a scrap on in the middle for the ball. Both teams going hard for it.
Nightcliff now working the ball forward. First to it, I think, will be Labessa. It's Marsden again, who gets it out to McCallum for Districts. That was a crafty little kick.
Bella Clark again. Cool, calm and collected and just slowing the play down there, going back to take her kick.
So she works the ball forward, kicks it over the top of everyone, and it's the Thorne and Hunter contest. It'll make it, but it's Districts who work it forward. Shot on goal. It's a long one. It's bouncing. Goes across the face.
Eliza Morrison, the only player there, chasing hard. She's so fit.
One of the best runners in the competition.
Yeah. She runs the Wobbly Leg Wednesday sessions on Wednesday mornings at the running track at Marara, and players from all clubs go along. She's highly respected. She used to be strength and conditioning coach for Geelong Cats and NT Thunder programs. So, yeah, really well known in the football industry.
So we'll have a ball up forward flank for Districts. Good hit out there from McWilliam for Nightcliff. And they come down the wing now. Only as far as Walsh. Couldn't take the mark, but she'll hold up play. Simmons gets her hands across. Mark wasn't taken, but it comes out again. Bella Clark now on her left foot, kicks forward. Ball was dropped. Coops couldn't work it forward cleanly. Simmons will be first to it. Takes her an eternity to reach down and pick it up from that height, and she's tackled. And Nightcliff will come away with it best, I think. No, she's tackled to the ground. Simmons again with the ball, gets the quick hands away, and they did. Both teams did well there not to give up possession. It's worked over the boundary line.
So just the one goal scored so far this quarter. You're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 2021-22 TIO NTFL season from Darwin, Mazda, Nightcliff Oval.
So ball comes in over the top of the two ruckman. Morrison looks like she'll be first to it. Morrison on Clark. Very good contest there. In fact, it wasn't Clark, it was Davidson. Umpire has pinged Davidson for tripping, and it's Morrison with the free kick on the back flank. So she assesses her options, goes into the middle of the ground. And she finds McWilliam, plays on. Nightcliff are on here, I reckon. Ball comes forward. They've got a runner going forward to support Onion Smith. Gee, that's great work from Butt. Just giving away a free kick, unfortunately, for hands in the back, though. And look, that's just pressure from being at 1 on 2.
Yeah, 2 on 1. Yeah, contest there, Sarah Butt. And, you know, if anything, it slowed the play down for her team and allowed them to man up in the goal square.
High kick goes to the top of the goal square. Onion Smith at the back couldn't take a mark, and it rolls through for a behind. So Butt probably a bit relieved there. Just gone through for behind, but she has done very well there. I don't think Coach Greg West can be too upset with her if it's there. She plays on now, brings the ball back into play. Kicks out, and she might crumb her own kick there. Not quite. Nightcliff holding. It's their turn to hold it into their forward 50 now. And I think it might be a condition of the players coming back from the break, but the men's game before, and we've seen it a lot in this game as well, Liz, is that you know, the teams are very keen to hold the ball in their forward 50. The offensive pressure's been very good to start the season, almost surprisingly so. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we've seen the game structure change already in the second quarter. In the first quarter, Southern Districts were just going straight down the middle every time, but Nightcliff's, you know, put a stop to that, and now a lot of the play's been out on the wings in this quarter. So an interesting game of footy we've got. Absolutely, and interesting to note, even in this quarter, all 3 of District's goals have come from the goal square. Taylor Thorne with that first one, and obviously Grace Whitaker with her 2 50-metre penalties. Interesting to see if they look to follow suit for the rest of the game.
I don't think it's going to hit any great heights of the goal scoring that Southern Districts did before the round before Christmas, where I think Kyan Campbell kicked 4 goals for Southern Districts, and they had a really big win over St Mary's out at their home ground, Fred's Pass.
One can hope. It would be good to see a shootout, but I'm not sure if we'll get it tonight, the first week back after Christmas.
That's the beauty of NTFL football, that there is often a lot of changes week to week, and sometimes things can happen.
So Thorne on Hunter again, 1 out in the goal square. Thorne picks up the ball, but she's
great work
well
by
tackled by Hunter, and she wins the free kick.
What a great contest.
It's going to be one to watch, full back versus full forward.
You know, the Hunters are only young. I think they're only about 19 or 20, and came across from Waratah with Shannon Miller. So
it's got a bit of a master and apprentice vibe about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Shannon Miller's been a great role model and for a lot of the players here, and has a really good following. As we see Eliza Morrison again take another mark. We spoke before the game that she'd be one of the dominant players today, and she's definitely doing that, taking a run down the wing there.
And she goes inbound to Onion Smith. Good mark. As you said, she's a big kick, and she had a big kick in that first quarter, but she's possibly a bit too far out here. What do you give her measure? What do you give her range, Liz?
Oh, yeah, she'll get it in. She's looked to the top of the 50 metres to Hunter there, who's picked it up off the bounce. Great pick up, played on and chucked it on the boot.
Nightcliff couldn't take possession there. Districts again. Gee, they've done well to save a goal, but again, very good work. Gee, some heavy bumps there.
Nightcliff doing well not to give away a free kick, smothering that kick, and it's been a turnover. Chucked it on the boot, and Simmons is underneath, but a good spoil there by Southern Districts, and they got numbers there, 4 on 1 in the goal square to clear that ball out.
4 Crocs at the fall of the ball, and it's Marsden who kicks it out, but only as far as Onion Smith. She's in pole position now, trying to use her body to work it, gets it out to Morrison, who's very clever from here, throws on her left, goes towards goal.
Oh, touched on the line. Wow, that was a beautiful kick by Morrison, and would have been goal of the night. But yeah, just has the ability to lose her player, Eliza Morrison, and get there as a support to her teammates. And would have been a great goal for Nightcliff, but touched on the line. Some great defence by Southern Districts. So the score now 3-5-23, Southern Districts leading. Nightcliff Tigers 1-5-11 in the second quarter here at Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval.
Not a great kick in, as it's gone straight to a Nightcliff player who's, again, probably a touch too far out to score. She's gone back for a run-up, but she'll assess her options. She goes towards the top of the square. Onion Smith and Simmons are both there.
Oh,
good
great mark
by Onion Smith.
just using her strength there, and 2 hands on the ball, got it on the second grab. Should go straight through for a goal, Will. Going to mark it down.
Luckily, I've given her the commentator's curse. She has put it through. That brings it up to 2 goals, 5-17. They're trailing Southern Districts 3 goals, 5-23. So it's a 6-point margin as we edge towards the 15-minute mark of this first quarter.
Yeah, it's been a much closer quarter, as we said. The first quarter, a bit scrappy, everyone just working it out, running off the Christmas roast and the pudding. So, yeah, good game on our hands and very close going towards the halftime break.
Sorry, that is first half. I should have said not first quarter.
So 3-5-23, Southern Districts leading Tigers at 2-5-17, sitting up here on the balcony. There's a good crowd in with their masks on and socially distancing.
Yep, all following the rules and watching the footy the right way we're meant to in the first week of 2022. It's a strange one, isn't it?
It's been a strange one, and Eliza Morrison again just breaks away with that centre clearance, chucking on the boot and hitting Anion Smith on the chest. What a great kick and what a great lead.
Champagne footy there.
Absolutely.
And this is a bit closer to home for her.
And Eliza Morrison is just run on her own, and Anion Smith is going to give it straight back to her.
You can't do that with a player like Eliza Morrison.
Nah, someone needs to man her up from Southern Districts.
We said Greg West wouldn't have been upset before, but he'd be upset with something like that, seeing a player as dangerous as her getting open. She may have had an option on there in Kiri Hill-Carter, but she's decided to go back and take the responsibility on her own shoulders. She'll be kicking from about 35 out.
She's got her eye in because that last one was going to go through, just touched on the line. So
good kick.
Oh, free kick being paid, and it is going to
Southern Districts.
Southern Districts for holding. Bit tough there. Simmons, had 3 players on 1. But, yeah, Eliza Morrison's so damaging, and she'd be a walk-up start for the rep team, you would think, in a few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've obviously mentioned that before. Watching it last year, both the men and the women, it was just great to see how much pride they had pulling on the ochre black and white colours. Absolutely.
So we go into the halftime break with Southern Districts a lead 3-5-23, leading Nightcliff Tigers 2-5-17, but a really good quarter, a lot more competitive. We've got a good game on our hands, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. Great first half of footy. 6-point margin, so we've got a game on our hands. Look forward to bringing you the second half after this break.
Well, welcome back to the third quarter of this round 13 2021-22 TIO NTFL Women's Premier League game between Nightcliff and Southern Districts here at Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval. Liz Cruz and Wills Wah sitting on the commentary balcony, as we like to call it here, and it is Southern Districts leading 3-5-23 to Nightcliff Tigers 2-5-17, just a goal in it, Will.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting game so far. As we said at the start of the game, we thought it would be Eliza Morrison and Bella Clark, and they've definitely been two of the best so far. I've also loved the work of Grace Whitacker, who's kicked 2 goals for Southern Districts so far today.
It's actually her debut today, I've been told, in the break, Will.
Oh, so very good debut for her then. 2 goals on debuts, not too bad.
I was just talking to Rhiannon Bush, who's watching it on the live stream and giving me some good inside information.
Matisse Hunter at fullback for Nightcliff as well has been very impressive. Looking forward to seeing the rest of her clash with Taylor Thorne.
It's been a great duel there as we see Nightcliff get it into the forward line there, looking for the first, probably a bit too far out shot on goal, but definitely towards their goal line. Huge kick there.
It's Onion Smith, and that's a good mark from the Nightcliff forward. Just waiting for her to turn around so I can see her number.
Lauren Gooden from
it is
there, who's also been good in the first half, Will.
Yeah, she has. She kicked Nightcliff's first goal of the game in that first quarter. She lines up now. That's a very good kick, and she's got 2. So she squares the ledger. It's 3 goals, 5 apiece.
And Coach Shannon Miller will be very, very happy with that start here in their home game to get a goal so quickly in this third quarter. So 3-5-23 apiece here very early in the third quarter. Great work there by Jackie Onion Smith and Lauren Gooden finishing it off.
And a quick start to start this second half. I think most people thought Nightcliff would probably run away with this one, but it's all square at the moment. A very good game so far. And first week back from Christmas, you never know exactly who's going to be filling the names on those team sheets. And it's a pretty even contest so far, so look forward to what else is to come. Simmons has been great in the ruck for Nightcliff tonight. Didn't quite get the tap there, and it's Hewitt who runs away with it for Southern Districts. She kicks it forward to the advantage of Holly Harvey, and now she goes forward. Only gets it as far as Sophie Politis. She plays on, kicks it to the back flank. It's a good mark there from Michaela Shaw. Goes inside 50. And I think it's gone straight to, I couldn't work out who that was actually. Don't have the right numbers in front of me. But it's ball in dispute. Crocs will work it forward again. Grubber on the boot. I think it was Berry who tried to work it forward, who's also very impressive. There's Whitaker at the bottom of the ball. Ball comes over the top. It'll be Coops first to it for Districts. No, it won't. It's Kelly for Nightcliff. Tackles Coops as she picks up the ball. Whitaker gets through one, gets through another. She's got her 3rd goal on debut. Well done, Grace Whitaker.
Wow, absolutely outstanding debut. Two goals were from free kicks, but she gave herself the opportunity. So 3 goals in debut. She's been in the Thunder program this year, and Rhiannon Bush was telling me she's always had the potential to play Premier League, but she's been too young, so she's obviously turned 16 and she can play Women's Premier League. So 3 goals on debut. Great start there for Grace Whitaker. And the score now, Southern Districts 4-5-29, leading Nightcliff Tigers 3-5-23 in the third quarter here at Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval.
And if my memory serves me correct, she also set up that first goal, which went to Taylor Thorne. So she's had a big say in the game so far today, and looking forward to seeing what's more to come from her.
Yeah, absolutely. So just waiting for the umpire to ball it up there back in the centre, and a really exciting start to the third quarter.
Simmons straight out to Morrison, couldn't take it cleanly. And so Districts will have a chance to take possession and work it forward. The umpire will call for my ball.
The great thing about the NTFL footy is once, those young players do turn 16, they get the chance to play Premier League. And we've seen the likes of Janome Anderson and that have just stepped straight into the Women's Premier League. And that's exactly what Whitaker's done tonight, and really holding her own in the senior division.
And this week after Christmas, where, sometimes teams are a bit short on their stocks and supplies of who can play, it gives those 16s who are real hungry and, ready to play an opportunity to pull on the boots and play in the Premier League.
Yeah, absolutely, and hold their own. And likewise in the men's competition, we saw 15-year-old Waylon Davey make his debut, and he hasn't left the seniors now. So really holding his own in the men's Premier League competition for Palmerston.
Back to the play, and it's Nightcliff who will work it forward. A few wasted opportunities on that far wing. The District's now mopping up again. It's Casey Marsden, who's been pretty good tonight on that half-back flank. She works it forward. Nightcliff will intercept, though. Not without some pressure. And unfortunately, it's Michaela Shaw who's given away a free kick on that far wing. So ball comes inboard for Nightcliff.
Eliza Morrison again, just racking up those possessions as she does. Switches the ball to a loose player there. The ball wasn't taken cleanly, but still in possession of Nightcliff.
It was Jasmine Ware, and that was, I'm not sure if it was communication or vision, but whatever it was a great piece of play from Morrison as the ball now goes inside forward 50 to space for Nightcliff. Onion Smith couldn't run onto it, and it rolls over the boundary line, but that's probably a win for Nightcliff nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. They've still got that in their forward line, deep in the pocket there. As we wait for the umpire to throw that in. Good to see a lot of the Nightcliff senior men here up on the balcony watching and supporting their women's, and I'm sure the Southern District's men are down in the up the other end watching.
It looks like, yeah, there's a couple on the far side of the ground there, sort of perched in the various stands and on the hill. But yeah, great to see the seniors or the men sticking around for the women. It's been a big day of footy. I think they've had 4 or 5 games between Districts and Nightcliff. So yeah, one of those great days that we have in territory footy up here.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the country atmosphere when you play at the suburban grounds like this. I think the Nightcliff Spartans started at 12:30 today in the heat of the day, and the day just rolls on. So as we see Southern Districts again pushing that ball forward, but it's going to be intercepted there by Politis, I think, for Nightcliff.
She goes inside 50. Couldn't find a target. Onion Smith making her presence felt, though. Can't take possession, but she paddles it onto her teammates. They go to ground. Nightcliff with their hands on the ball. Simmons now gets her hands out. Did she get it back? No, it's Whitaker in the thick of it there. Now Labessa for Nightcliff, and the umpire has called incorrect disposal, so it'll be a free kick going the way of Districts. And it's Nakia Seaton-Scott who'll take it from that half-back flank. Very high kick into the centre of the ground. It was a bit too much for Coops. In fact, it was Hewitt. And Nightcliff managed to work it in their favour. But only gets it as far back as the District's defender. It's back and forth between Tigers and Crocs at the moment.
Onion Smith going in, and looks like, who's that? Hard to see up that end. Tegan McWilliam again going in, but the umpire's seen a free kick. And it'll go to Southern Districts.
So on the half-back flank, she looks at her options. She pushes out to the wing. Oh, and gee, she's the umpire's pulled a free kick in favour of Whitaker.
Yeah, Grace Whitaker again, just turning it on in her debut, really stepping up, getting that ball to a teammate who runs around 2 Tigers.
Great effort from the Nightcliff defender to putting her body on the line there, but unfortunately the District's player spelt it. Another great smother from the Nightcliff player there. She picks up her own ball, gets her hands off, gets it back. It's Matisse Hunter doing very well.
Been impressive tonight, the Hunter girls.
Names to follow in years to come in the WPL up here. And it's stopped at half-back.
Yeah, Nightcliff just slowing down the play and switching across there to the wing in Andy Molinaire.
It's been pretty good tonight.
Always hear her name when you commentate the Nightcliff games. It's a frequent one.
And the 2 big girls there, it's Simmons, and I think it's Kowalowitz is the pronunciation. It's a tricky one. Henry run down there for Nightcliff. Districts now get the ball forward. Comes the way of Natalie Wilson. She'll be first to it. Gets a foot to it to work it forward a bit more. Gee, almost slid in there. Gets support from Holly Harvey. But it's Nightcliff who'll mop it up. And Matisse Hunter throws it on the boot, rolls towards the boundary line. Simmons slowly ambles to it, but gets to it, kicks it forward. The teammate couldn't mark it. In Dooley, she then gets it forward. Nightcliff trying to work it. And McWilliam finally gets it on her boot. Districts, however, will take advantage of it. Here she is again, Grace Whitaker. Inside the centre square, looks to the lead of Thorne. Didn't quite use her body there, and I'd say that Kelly's out-muscled her. But Thorne gets it back, wiggles through one, kicks towards goal. It's a behind, though.
Oh, another behind. So the score now, Southern Districts 4-6-30, leading Nightcliff Tigers 3-5-23 in the third quarter here at Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval.
So again, a bit of a scrappy start to this second half here, Liz.
Yeah, as we said, you know, there's a bit of a few players out for both teams, which means the reserves step up, doing a good job, but the first game after the Christmas break is always a tough one.
Not a great kick out from Kelly there. Finds a Districts player. They go forward again. It's in the hot spot, but Nightcliff doing what they can. Picked up by Coops. She kicks it forward, bounces over the top to the advantage of Thorne. Only got a hand to it. Comes back to Coops. Hands it over to Wilson. Try to snap it towards goal, but her kick was halted. And that's a great rundown tackle from Wilson.
Yeah, Hill Carter looked like she was off and running then, but some great defensive work by Southern Districts. So all the players manning up really quickly now.
She's been lively the last couple of minutes, Wilson has, so if she can kick this, it'd be good reward for effort. Won't quite make the distance, but it's in the hot spot.
Oh, great mark by
There
Whitaker.
she is again.
What a debut she's having. 3 goals so far to Whitaker.
Lining up from about 20 metres out, as easy as you like, and she does a little twirl celebration, doesn't she?
She does, and I would too if I'd kicked 4 goals in my debut senior game. So well done to Grace Whitaker, really putting her stamp on the game. So the score now, Southern Districts 5-6-36, leading Nightcliff Tigers 3-5-23. Who else have you seen in the best today so far, Will?
She's been quiet this quarter, but I've really liked the work of Sophie Berry early. She sort of played in the forward line and sort of a high half-forward role as well, just connecting the midfielders to the forwards. Yeah, she's been great. I've been really interested in this ruck battle between Kowalowitz and Simmons, and I've also thought Jessie Brock for Districts has been pretty good today.
Yeah, the Hunter girls have worked pretty hard for Nightcliff. It's been one of those games, I suppose, where players are coming in and out, and obviously Eliza Morrison always puts in a 4-quarter effort, and there she is again, running straight through.
Takes a second
the
bounce,
centre.
throws it on her boot, kicks it forward. Simmons couldn't take the mark. She's resting at full forward now, hoping to get a bit of reward for her effort. The Districts looks like they'll mop up, kick it out of the defensive 50, and it's a foot race now. I think it'll be Moliere to it first. Throws it on her left, goes inside the forward 50 now. At the bottom of it.
Lauren Gooden there with the grab.
She's already got 2. That goes towards goal. And unfortunately, it's a behind.
Just needed a bit more to square up in front of goals, running out wide there. So the score now, Southern Districts 5-6-36, leading Nightcliff Tigers a 3-6-24, a 2-goal margin.
So it's Butt again, kicking from full-back. She's also been impressive tonight.
Yeah, she's been rock solid in defence. She's Eliza Morrison again, grabbing that ball though for Nightcliff and getting it back inside their 50, but mopped up again by Southern Districts. A really even contest tonight so far. There's never been more than, 10 or 12 points in it, Will.
Bella Clark with the ball now. She's been good tonight without being at her best. Works the ball forward. Bit of miscommunication there from Districts players as to who would take it. Looks like it's Brock on top of the ball now. She'll hand it to the umpire who's called for a ball up. And on the half-forward flank, just favouring the Crocs, they will take possession through Brock. She gets her hands out. Gee, that was slick. Clark now under assault. Gets her hands away, only as far as Morrison for Tigers. She gets a kick away. Back now to Wilson, who throws it on the boot. Gets out to that far side, and again, it's another foot race. And it looks like it's Labessa who'll get to it first. She's just overrun the ball. Clark gets a kick away. Picked up there by Casey. She gets her hands over the top. but not to anyone in particular. Nightcliff with the numbers now, work it forward. It's a one-on-one on the half-forward flank.
Great chase down there by the Southern Districts player.
Brilliant chase. I think that was McCallum there.
Yeah,
it
great.
It was on Jess Dooley. She'll be able to slow up play.
There's been a couple of other games today, Will. Waratah defeating Tracy Village Wanderers, defeating Palmerston Magpies, Pint defeating Darwin Buffaloes. If I read that correctly, that's a bit of a surprise. And St Mary's with the bye. So, yeah, that just opens it up again with Darwin Buffaloes going down to Pint.
And, yeah, these sort of Christmas weeks where you don't know, where anyone can beat anyone, really help shape the competition. And it's sort of good to see, obviously, Nightcliff sitting at the moment with 9 wins and 1 loss. I believe Darwin on the same, just trailing by percentage. Which means they've both lost tonight, and it gives the other teams a chance to play catch-up.
Absolutely, and as we spoke about earlier, a really open women's competition this year where anyone can be there at the end of the season on grand final day.
Ball still now in Nightcliff's forward 50, but they're pushed back, have to reload. And they will through McWilliam. She's been good tonight. Haven't called her as often as I should have, as her luscious hair covering her number.
There's a few lookalikes out there tonight, and the long ponytails do hide the numbers.
But Nightcliff go into the forward 50. Again, a bit of miscommunication. She kicks towards goal, just across the face again. She
won't be happy with that. She's put the hands straight on the hips, pretty close to goal, and that would have been... was much needed, I should say, for Nightcliff Tigers. So the score now, Southern Districts 5-6-36, leading Nightcliff Tigers 3-7-25.
So the Districts player touches the ball on the ground as she runs 15 and runs a bit more, puts the ball on the boot and gets it to that far wing. Very good effort, but Morrison's there to mop it up. She throws it onto her left, kicks it forward, and finds a target. And again, I think it might be Moliere over there. Looking at her options. Goes inboard. Nightcliff player ends up with the ball, kicks towards goal, kicks across the face, however. And there's a play in a yard of space, but the siren has beaten her.
By the siren. I think it was Hill Carter from the looks of it. So... wow, just beaten by the siren, which looked like maybe a goal to Nightcliff, but the score at three-quarter time, Southern Districts 5-6-36 and Nightcliff 3-7-25. But the story so far tonight is the debut player, Grace Whitacker, with 4 goals, Will.
Yeah, she has been fantastic. Didn't realise it was her debut. She was playing so well until we got a nice text in letting us know that. But, yeah, she's been fantastic. Probably the difference with just 11 points the margin. Still... in at Nightcliff are, so looking forward to the final instalment of this clash after this short break.
Well, welcome back to Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval for the final quarter of this round 13 clash between Nightcliff and Southern Districts. And Nightcliff might be sitting on top of the ladder, Will, but it's Southern Districts tonight who take an 11-point lead into the final quarter. A really exciting game on our hands.
Yeah, very exciting game, and rightly so. Districts have that 11-point lead. They've definitely been the better outfit tonight. It's not over yet. Two good centre clearances, which Nightcliff have probably been better at tonight, with Simmons probably the better ruckman, Morrison in the middle, and they've got the strong lead of Anion Smith. They could do that a couple of times, and they're right back in it. But as it stands now, Districts have been better, largely thanks to Grace Whitaker, who so far has kicked 4 goals on debut.
On debut, yeah. You summed that up really well, Will. And then when we look at the scoreboard, it is 10 scoring shots to 11. But in Southern District's favour, they've been more accurate on the board. So the siren has sounded, and we get underway in the final quarter here at Nightcliff.
So ball goes up, and it's the District's ruckwoman who gets it.
Umpire calls it back in.
It's a free kick.
Oh, it's a free kick.
So that goes the way of Nightcliff.
Looks like Emily Casey there. High kick up in the air.
And Gooden was the target, but couldn't take the mark. Was not in the best position of the contest.
Umpire's called a throw, and another free kick there to Nightcliff in Michaela Seaton-Scott. Sorry. Can't read my notes in the dark here on the balcony.
Wrong team sheet, I think. It wasn't on goal anyway. It sort of went to the top of the square under pursuit. Umpire's pulled another free kick out somewhere. No, he hasn't. It's play on. And it's another kick on goal. Gooden again, the target. Couldn't take the mark. Went through her fingers, but overran it. Goes back and picks it up.
Oh, great
smother from Gooden. But again, gets on top of it, gets her hands to it first. McWilliam also trying hard. Kiri Hill-Carter now in a foot race there against Shaw. She got to it first, but hit the ground hard as well. And there's a dangerous kick from Nightcliff going towards goal, so it'll be a free kick to Southern Districts looking to exit their defensive 50.
Oh, Nightcliff will be spewing because they had the ball in their forward line, and they really needed a goal to start this final quarter. Technical term there, Will, spewing?
Yep, plenty of opportunities there. Couldn't quite convert, unfortunately, for them. But they'll live to fight another day, as the kick wasn't a great one, and the umpires pulled a free kick out. So it'll be... No, again, it's another District's free kick through Shaw again. Throws it on the left. And it's Coops, who eventually picked it up, lost a fair bit of meterage, and only gets it as far...
Eliza Morrison.
Again, what's that, number 30? Not quite.
She'd be up there in possessions. I'm glad she's got the white armband on, because we've had to call her name a lot tonight. So I think that's Mollier there, throws it on the boot. There's no one in the goal square, but another behind for Nightcliff. Imagine if they'd been accurate tonight, Will.
Yeah, if they'd been 8-3 instead of 3-8, they'd be on 51 and leading this match by 15 points. Not to be, they're trailing by 10.
Very quick on your maths there. Very impressive.
The 6 times tables come to me quickly.
English was my favourite subject at school. I was no good at the maths.
So Butt plays on from fullback.
No one on the mark. Allows her to run in and get that ball over the 50-metre line.
And it's good to see them taking advantage of that rule, because it means if it is turned over, it's not immediately a shot on goal. Luckily for Districts, it's more than just not turned over. Great work from Coops there. She takes one bounce, throws it on the right. Taylor Thorne with a lead well away from home, but she runs around, handballs it sort of to her own advantage.
Ooh. Yeah, beautiful trap there by Taylor Thorne.
Heavy clash there. There's our girl Grace Whitaker. Throws it on the outside of the boot.
We're claiming room there, are we?
I think we are.
When she gets drafted, we can look back and say we commentated her first game of Premier League footy.
And Thorne worked it deep into the forward line, but it's on a tight angle near the boundary line, and not sure if there's enough in it, if they'll win possession or if it'll head over the boundary line. Morrison with the ball, and that's where it's gone over the boundary line. We'll have throw in from that deep forward pocket.
Well, I had my source, Rhiannon Bush, send me some more info in the three-quarter time break saying that Crocs have 7 of their under-18s girls playing up tonight. Most of them debuted last season, but Grace is the only one debuting. So a lot of young guns, like young talent out there for Crocs.
Thorne on Simmons in the ruck there. Still in the hot spot. Districts can make something of it here. Gets the hands out. It's a snap, and it's through for a goal. Didn't quite see who that was.
Still looking there. She'll turn around in a minute. But, yeah, that's the difference tonight is that Crocs have finished really well with their goals. And Nightcliff Tigers haven't. So that's been the story of the night. It's not Grace Whitacker again, is it?
It looks like it might be.
Possibly is.
She kicked 5.
Down the far end from where we're sitting, and we've lost the player on the screen now. So if that is Grace Whitacker, she's kicked 5 goals on debut.
I'll keep an eye on her and wait for her to turn around so we can see her number.
So the score now, Southern District 6-6-42, leading Nightcliff Tigers 3-8-26, and the margin has gone out now and probably will be a bit hard to draw back in for Nightcliff Tigers this late in the game.
So Simmons again, who's been dominant in the ruck tonight, very good. Berry for Districts took possession. She's pinged for holding the ball. It's Nightcliff who move forward with the advantage. Kiri Hill-Carter will be first to it. Doesn't get a kind bounce. And she overruns it. So it's McCallum who works it out. Casey will be first to it. She'll look to enter forward 50 again for Nightcliff. And Anion Smith at the bottom.
Sarah Butt just getting, the hand up there for the spoil.
Morrison on Clark. What a battle that'll be.
Potential teammates in the NT rep team in a few weeks.
And it's Clark who's pinged. Oh, sorry, it's Morrison who's pinged for holding the woman.
Holding the woman?
holding the player.
Holding the player. Politically correct.
Politically correct, yep. And it's Megan Kelly now running through, throws it on her right. Couldn't find Hill-Carter cleanly, but she picks up the ball, is met by a tackle from Marsden. Ball comes across now, and it's McCallum for Districts. Works it forward, only finds Morrison. Throws it on her left. It'll go to the hot spot, but couldn't take the mark at the fall of the ball.
She's been held without it. A free kick there. She's had a really good game tonight, Sarah Butt.
She kicks it forward. Gee, that wasn't a great one. Almost straight up and straight down, and it's marked by the player on the mark. It's player on the goal square, or she's not anymore, but she was.
Looks like Hill-Carter from here with the ball. Bit hard to see from where we're sitting, but Nightcliff really need to get a goal now if they want any chance of winning this game.
She kicks it.
Oh,
couldn't quite take the mark in the goal square. But she crumbs
Lauren
her
Gooden.
own contest. Lauren Gooden kicks her third, and she has been very good in the forward line for Nightcliff so far.
Yeah, she probably could have kicked, she's kicked 3, probably could have kicked 5 or 6 if she'd been accurate. But a really important goal, as we said, if they want any chance of winning this game. Taking it back to a 10-point margin, Southern District 6-6-42, leading Nightcliff Tigers 4-8-32. In the final quarter here at a Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval, you're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 2021-22 TIO NTFL season. And hard to believe it's 2022 already, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. Feels like only yesterday when we had the first Nightcliff versus St Mary's grand final, which I think was the one of the last major sporting events before lockdown, and here we are in 2022.
And what a grand final it was, except for if you're like me and a St Mary's supporter. But yeah, one for the ages. We've had some great grand finals in the last 10 years or so.
Ball enters Nightcliff's forward line. They could be coming for a late charge here. Is it Gooden who throws it on the boot? Oh, she's hit the post.
She's hit the umpire, I think, and Anion Smith is disputing here that it should be a goal because it hit the umpire. The Nightcliff balcony, so it's indicating, but they have indicated a behind there, so it was a great shot on goal.
I think that is the right call from where we are. It looked like it was tracking for that post.
And I think the umpire was standing in He had 1 foot in and 1 foot outside.
Yep.
As you do. Technique, great technique there. The score now 6-6-42 to Crocs leading Tigers 4-9-33.
And Nightcliff have another opportunity. They won't go down without a fight. Comes on goal. That's better.
Oh, there you go. I think it was Hill Carter, was it? Or
Moliere. Who's been very good today as well. Used her pace on the wing and rewarded for her efforts tonight.
Absolutely. So, wow, only 3 points the difference. Southern District 6-6-42 have led all game, but Nightcliff Tigers a late charge, as Will said, 5-9-39.
Still plenty of time to play.
Yep.
Probably about 6 or 7 minutes. And as we said, we've seen plenty of very clean plays out of the middle where it's been Simmons to Morrison to the forward line. So
Morrison's been amazing, and you can see already she goes back early. She starts talking to her teammate. She tells her teammate in the ruck where she wants the ball and where she's going to be. And look at that, great ruck tap straight to a player. It
was McWilliam in the ruck that time, but only gets it as far as Marsden for Districts. She goes forward now. In fact, it's a bit of a sideways kick to Labessa.
Must have been touched off the ball because the umpire called play on as Labessa went back to take her kick.
And Simmons was the target at the fall of the ball there, couldn't take the mark. But it's kicked forward. Onion Smith uses her body well, hands it, but the player runs past her.
There's 4 Nightcliff Tigers out there.
Kick towards goal. Gooden at the drop.
Oh, it's a goal.
And Nightcliff hit the lead.
Wowee.
So it's a goal to Jess Dooley.
She was just in the right position there. Lauren Gooden got the ball to the ground right in front of her teammate, and it's gone through for a goal. And Nightcliff have hit the front, I think, for the first time all game, Will.
Yeah, it is the first time all game. We saw Taylor Thorne, I think, kick the first behind or the first 8 points of the game with 2 behinds and a goal.
A bit like the men's game before this.
Yeah, and suddenly Nightcliff has hit the lead, coming home fast. Don't want to jinx anything for the fans around us in particular, but if they win this one, I think it'll be a clean sweep here today at Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval.
Yeah, so the score now, Nightcliff 6-9-45, leading Southern District 6-6-42 at the 11-minute mark of the final quarter.
And Marsden takes it out of the middle for Districts, only gets a grubber off the ground. Umpire calls free kick for holding the player, and it'll go Nightcliff's way. So they're not stopping, they're putting the foot on the throttle.
Yeah, they're going to play out the full game, full 4 quarters here in front of a big home crowd.
So she finds a player in the middle of the ground there. Is it Moliere again? Just might be. Runs onto the ball, picks it up, hands it forward to Kiri Hill-Carter. Not a pretty kick, but it got forward, which is sometimes what they want. And I think that's a free kick off the boot of the... is it off the Districts player or the Nightcliff player?
I think it was off the Nightcliff player.
So it'll be a free kick. Looks like it's going to come, and it'll be Butt who'll take it. She plays on, makes the most of that player on the mark rule. Just gets it outside of that dangerous scoring position. And I must say, despite the scoreline, it doesn't seem like the Districts are as urgent as they'd like to be.
No, it's definitely Nightcliff who are up and about. Eliza Morrison talking, getting around everyone, just, making sure they run out the last 5 minutes of this game. And look what's happened. They've put themselves in front, but it's Districts that have grabbed the ball out, and it's a foot race now between Taylor Thorne, who picks the ball up on the bounce and is nobody in the goal square, and it's all players running for it.
Here she is, Grace Whitaker first to it. Can she pick it up? No, it wasn't a kind bounce. But she might have another opportunity here. Player comes out. Whitaker takes the ball. She's tackled. Ball comes out of her possession. No one's really sure what's going on, if the player's going to stop. Whitaker grabs it, throws it on the boot, but it's a behind.
Ooh.
So it's a 2-point lead to Nightcliff.
Imagine if Taylor Thorne's kick had gone through. 2 points the difference at the 13-minute mark of the final quarter, and it's Nightcliff, who haven't led all game, that have made a late charge and hit the lead.
A couple of crackers here today at Darwin Mazda Oval. Obviously, the men's Premier League game was just 8 points in the end. This one's shaping up to be even closer. It's just 2 points at the moment with a couple of minutes left to play. Districts with everything to play for, Nightcliff with everything to lose at this point in time.
Absolutely, especially a home game here. They love their home games.
And they go into the middle of the ground. It was an easy mark. I think it was to Onion Smith who plays on. She runs and goes and looks to Gooden.
Oh.
Ball goes through her hands. Good work off the ball by Butt. She's been a superstar in the back line today. Hands the ball over the top. Bella Clark now takes possession, kicks it over the top. Don't think it was to advantage of any of her teammates, but she got it forward, which is what she needed. Might be able to make amends here. Nightcliff now take possession through Casey. She takes a bounce, gets her hands off to Morrison. Morrison throws it on the boot, gains some meterage, some much needed meterage, and it's heading towards the boundary line. Boundary line is their friend in this situation, but they keep it alive. Kick it to the advantage of Onion Smith. She takes possession. In fact, it's I think it's Casey. She's tackled, and she's pinged for holding the ball.
Yeah, she got spun around and the umpire waited till she went for the kick. A great tackle there. Great pressure by Southern Districts and a free kick to Sophie Berry, who has had a really solid game for Crocs tonight.
And they needed to go. No more mistakes, but she's kicked it straight down the throat of Eliza Morrison, who's not who you want to have the ball. She'll stay composed here and help her teammates stay composed in the dying stage of this match.
Lauren Gooden's indicating where she wants it, but there's 4 Crocs out there to 2 Nightcliff players, and it looks like they're going to mop up the ball.
And they do. Gee, dangerous kick, but it pays off.
No whistle by the umpire. I thought she'd marked it, but it's going to be a free kick. Oh, wow. Free kick to, and that should be 50 metres because the Nightcliff player didn't return the ball. So costly mistake there by Nightcliff.
And the Districts are given a lifeline. They need to get on their bike, though. and
another 50.
Sometimes that happens with...
that could be... the final goal of the game, coming up to the 16-minute mark of the final quarter here.
And she gives it off to Marsden, who's been a revelation this last quarter. She kicks it inside 50. Couldn't find Brock. Ball now in dispute. Crocs need something. They need a lifeline. Bella Clark tried to get a fist away, but couldn't. Now comes the Nightcliff defender. Morrison gets the ball out. Back out, I think it's Moliere. Throws it on the boot. And she's got 2 Nightcliff players in space. They will work together. Great pressure there from Lebessa, great shepherding from Lebessa, and she goes in forward, finds McWilliam, and she looks to slow down the play.
And 50 metre to Nightcliff now, and you can see Eliza Morrison just saying, slow it down, we're in the lead and there is not much time to go. What a game.
So McWilliam, who's been very impressive today for Nightcliff. As I said, she's got her long hair covering her number, so I haven't called her as much as we should have, but very impressive. Has filled in for Ruck when Simmons has been resting up forward. And I think one of the bright stars of the future for Nightcliff.
Absolutely.
She's a bit nervous. She walks in, kicks.
Oh,
she's missed it. So giving Crocs a lifeline. Is there enough time for them to work it down the other end?
Well, it's been the highest scoring quarter of the game, so there should be a little bit of time on. The score now, Nightcliff Tigers 6-10-46, leading Southern District 6-7-43, back to a 3-point ball game.
And Butt knows she played on, but it didn't go to advantage, and she's pinged for holding the ball. So Gooden will get a free kick about 13 metres out from goal. Butt's pleading her case with the umpire, but once the umpire blows their whistle, they don't change their mind.
So can Lauren Gooden put this through and seal the game for Nightcliff Tigers in front of a home crowd here at Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval?
She walks in. She's kicked 3 today.
Yes, she can.
And that's her 4th.
And that should be... There's a siren, and Nightcliff have staged a last quarter comeback after trailing the Crocs all day to take a win here at Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval. Will, what an exciting last quarter.
Yeah, fantastic quarter. I didn't see it coming, to be honest. I thought with, I think it was a 10-point lead at 3-quarter time. Crocs were 1 goal away from home and hose and an unlikely victory against the first-place Tigers. But Tigers just got on a roll. They kept coming. A few goals through Gooden, who I think equalled Grace Whitaker's tally of 4 goals in the end. Probably, not sure if she was best on ground, but I'd say most valuable for mine. Who else did you see in the best tonight, Liz?
Just Eliza Morrison. You know, she goes for 4 quarters, but the leadership qualities she brings to the game, you can just see her talking to her teammates the whole game. She gets around everyone. She's a really positive person, really experienced football brain, and she's just such an asset to the Nightcliff Tigers team.
Absolutely. I also love the work of Emily Casey, Cassie McWilliam, Kiri Hill-Carter and the ruckman Katrina Simmons. For districts, really like some of the youngsters there. Grace Whitaker was fantastic, and Sophie Berry. Probably, again, not one of their best players, but most impressive, and I think one to watch in the coming weeks and coming years. Yeah,
absolutely. So the final score here at Darwin Mazda Nightcliff Oval, it was Nightcliff 7-10-52, who took the win in the last quarter over Southern District 6-7-43. Really exciting game of women's football, and just shows how close the competition is, Will, as we go into the second half of the season.
Absolutely. Great first hit out for both teams. They'll be looking towards next week. That's all from us for tonight. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to bringing you next week's games.